Let's begin. Today is August 14th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses the following 6 criteria cards. Criteria card 3, 5, 12, 18, 19, and 20. And the puzzle uses the purple verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So in the grid above, we've got our 6 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D, criteria card E, and finally criteria card F. Criteria card A looks at our middle digit, the square digit, and compares it to the number 3. So should the value of square be less than 3? Should it be equal to 3? Or should it be greater than 3? Criteria card B looks at our first digit, the triangle digit, and we'll find out whether its value is an even digit or an odd digit. Criteria card C looks at our first and last digits, triangle and circle, and compares them. So should the value of triangle be less than circle? Should they be equal? Or should the value of triangle be greater than circle? Criteria card D looks at our 3 digits, triangle, square, and circle, and adds them up. And the Turing Machine will let us know whether that sum is an even quantity or an odd quantity. Next, criteria card E looks at our first 2 digits, triangle and square, adds them up, and compares that sum to the number 6. So should the sum be less than 6? Should it be equal to 6? Or should it be greater than 6? And finally, criteria card F will look at the 3-digit solution and will let us know a little bit about its structure, so to speak. Specifically, if there are no repetitions among the digits, as in the example 125, or perhaps it could be a double number where there's a single digit repeated, as in the example 112, or it could be a triple number where it's a single digit repeated 3 times, as in the example 222. Now remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find a unique 3-digit code that abides by all the 6 criteria cards we just described. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I want to test is criteria card B. I want to know a little bit about that first digit. Okay, so the Turing Machine approves. Notice that I did choose an odd 3. The Turing Machine confirmed that yes, it's a triangle is an odd digit. So let's go ahead and put that in our notes. In section B, that triangle is an odd digit. And of course, since it is odd, we can cross out all of our evens. So let's go ahead and cross out 2 and 4 for triangle. Next, I like to test criteria card D. I want to know something about the total sum of the 3 digits. Okay, so in this case, the Turing Machine does not approve of my proposal. Notice that since we are adding all the digits up, let's go ahead and do that with the proposal. So 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. That is an even quantity, but the Turing Machine does not approve of it. So it's basically telling me that the sum of the 3 digits should be odd. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section D. That triangle plus square plus circle is odd. And since it's odd, let's see if that informs us of anything. So if we want the overall sum to be odd, notice that I do have triangle as a definite odd. That means we have 2 scenarios, and that is that square and circle can either be both odd or both even. And the reason is, regardless of which type it is, whenever you add 2 similar digits, even or odd, that sum is even. But if you want the overall sum to be odd, you need to add that third digit to be an odd, just like we have for triangle. So what we're looking at is a possibility of it being all odd or odd, even, even. And with that said, we do have a criteria card F that might inform us that there could be a double number in our solution. So let's go ahead and test criteria card F. Okay, so the Turing Machine does not approve of my proposal. Notice that 314, you can describe it as having no repetition. They're all distinct. So that means that we're either looking at a triple number or a double number. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section F. So since there are I have repetitions, the Turing Machine disagrees with that, we can say the solution has a double or triple number. Okay, and so let's see, if we do have a triple number, that would mean that triangle and circle would have to be even, which would make this criteria card irrelevant, and we can't have that. So I'm proposing, or sort of deducing, that we have a double number. Now that doesn't inform us whether they're both even or both odd. In fact, if there is a double number and they're even, it would have to be that square and circle would have to be 2, 2, or 4, 4. But in the case that they're all odd, it could be that triangle and circle could be the paired up values. Okay, well, that does it for this round. We did complete our 3 Turing tests. We're now going into the phase where we'll be discussing how to construct a good second round proposal. So notice that we did not test criteria card A, which lets us know a little bit about the value of square. We also didn't test criteria card C, where we're comparing the first and last digits. And finally, criteria card E, that would let us know something about the sum of the first 2 digits. Notice that this particular puzzle does have a good variety of values, or options for triangle, square, and circle, where typically, if you listen to my other videos, I often say if you don't see one of the symbols in any of the cards, I often say that something about the other cards forcing a particular value. But here, we do have a good mixture of all the symbols among all the criteria cards. So it should be a little bit more, explicit maybe, or specific values. So knowing that triangle is odd, and we do have criteria card E, where we're adding them up, could it be that informs us of whether square should be an even or an odd? Could be. We could have a sum of 6, and it could be 1, 5 or 5, 1, and obviously criteria card A would let us know which order or combination it would be, and then of course criteria card C could be that triangle and circle are equal. So we may be looking at something like maybe 151 or 515. That is if they're all odd. So I think, we do have a pair, right? Pretty confident it's not a triple number, but can't rule that out, even though I made that argument about if there is a triple number, we know that this would be equal. So So yeah, let's go ahead and do, I want to try 515. Let's see how that proposal works out. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I guess the first thing I really want to know is, do I have a sum of 6 among triangle and square? So let's go ahead and test criteria card E. Okay, so we don't have a sum of 6. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see, how do we want to write that up? We can say that triangle and square are either less than 6 or greater than 6. So let's go ahead and type that up in section E, that triangle plus square are either less than or greater than 6. And I don't think that really crosses anything out. I mean, we could still use a 5 because it could be greater than 6, or we could still use a 1 if it's less than 6. So that really didn't inform us. Okay, what about, let's go ahead and test criteria card A. Okay, also incorrect. So notice that I did have square be less than 3. So we know that it's either equal to 3 or greater than 3. So let's go ahead and type that up in section A. And again, that is that square is either equal to or greater than 3. So in this case, we can eliminate 1 and 2 for square. So it can be 1 and it can't be 2. So that's sort of interesting. Let's see, how does that inform us going back to criteria card E, the sum? So it looks like if square is at least 3, then the only possibility for a less than would be 1 and 3. But you could also have 1 and 4, but not 1 and 5. So it looks like if it is going to be less than, it has to have that 1. And then there are, I guess, slightly more possibilities for greater than. You could have 3, 4, 3, 5, or 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5. So definitely a lot of possibilities still out there. Okay. And let's see. But yeah, I don't think we can cross out anything because of criteria card E. We do have 1 less even in square, where maybe it no longer is 2 evens for square and circle. So yeah, let's go ahead and test criteria card C, and let's find out if we have anything. I chose equal values for triangle and circle. Let's see if the Turing machine confirms that. Okay, wow, we finally got a lucky break, although I don't think we can really, well, I guess that does inform us, since they are equal, that everything is odd. Okay, so that's a plus for sure. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes, and that is that triangle does equal circle. So that's our double. And so let's go ahead and cross out all the evens, because obviously an odd cannot equal an even. And can we cross out anything else? So no 4 here, and then no 2, and no 4. Okay, well, you know, all we can say is then square has to be different. So let's go back and think about criteria card E. So we know we're not going to have, if we have a 1, it's not going to be a 5. So maybe we should start maybe listing out potential solutions. So I'm kind of running out of space here, but let's go ahead and put them here. So again, if it's going to be a 1, it can't be square 5 because that's a 6. So that means it would have to be 1, 3, 1. And I think that may be the only possibility for for triangle 1, because we were limited to use just 3. Okay, so what about 3? So that would mean a square cannot be a 3, because then we'd have a triple number. So it'd have to be 3, 5, 3. Okay, and I think that's it for triangle 3. Yeah. Okay, and if it were triangle 5, that would be 5, 3, 5. Very interesting indeed. So, and those seem to be the only options. Interesting. Let's see, let's verify. Yeah, 1, 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3, and 5, 3, 5. Okay. Well, we do have 2 sums that are greater than 6, and based on criteria card A, yeah, they're different. So we should be able to differentiate based on what the square value is. What else? Ordering. Oh yeah, so we've kind of taken care of the equal. Okay. And yeah, we slightly discussed the sum of them. Well, I think we do have to do, obviously, one more round. The question is, which one? So if square were 3, then we would be able to differentiate it based on the sum. And if we were to differentiate it based on the sum, I guess we would still go back to criteria card A. Interesting. Which of those makes the most sense? I think for some reason I would sort of gravitate to either the last 2 and then the sum, where the sum is greater than 6, and have criteria card A differentiate between them. So it would almost be as if it might be like 5, 3, 5, where these 2 have something in common. The first 2, they have 3 for square, and then these 2 have the sum being greater. That's what they have in common, but this is the one that kind of lies between them. So let's go ahead and test 5, 3, 5. And let's see. The question is, I'm not sure if I need to make 2 tests or 3 tests. Well, let's just start with which one. Which one do I want to test? Is there one that's better than the other? Let's go ahead and test. Yeah, I think I may have to do 2 tests. So let's go ahead and test criteria card A. Do we have a 3 or not? Oh, wow. Okay. So we don't have square equal 3. Well, I think that answers our question. So it's not equal. So let's go ahead and cross it out. So that means that square has to be 5. So it's not 3. So we have square equal 5. And like we said, it can't be 1, 5. So yeah, I think that answers our question. of it needing to be 353. Okay. Yeah, so square is 5. Yeah, it can't be 1. And it wasn't going to be 3, 3. So yeah, 353. Okay, well, let's type it up. Okay, and so quickly, let's see. Yes, the middle digit square is greater than 3. Triangle is odd. The first and last are equal. Their overall sum is odd. So at this point, we are deducing that the overall sum is going to be greater than 6, or sorry, not the overall, but the first two digits. Sum is going to be greater than 6, and we do have a double number. Okay, well, let's verify the solution of 353. Okay, fantastic. Well, now let's go to verify how we did with the Turing machine. So let's go review. What do we do? So we did do an overall 7 questions versus 6 criteria cards, which isn't all too bad. It could be a little bit complicated puzzle. Let's see, what did we test? We tested BDF in the first round, and then we did the other 3 in the second round, where B and C were the only correct ones, and then A in the third was our repeat. Okay, so let's type that up. So BDF first. So B was correct. And then A was incorrect. C was correct. E was incorrect. And then one more A of being incorrect. Okay, so we beat the Turing machine by 1 question. So not bad. I'm not sure if we, if we missed out on some efficiencies or some deductions, but still, it was a win by 1 question. So add your ideas to the comments and make sure to give it a thumbs up so that more people can find this channel, and of course, subscribe to be notified of our next video. Well, until next time, have a great one.